on the shot. Go, Georgia Southern!
For kill once again.
Raymond Johnson, a huge sack in the final minute 40.
D'Angelo with the goal for Georgia Southern.
Eagle Nation, welcome to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Alongside Colin Lacey, I'm Danny Reed. It is a busy season. It is the holiday season with Georgia Southern basketball for both men and women getting going this week. But we start out this week's edition, brought to you by Optum Medical Center, with a look back to Georgia Southern football's first ever trip to West Point to take on Army. It was a great afternoon filled with a lot of pageantry. There was the national anthem performed by a World War II veteran on the harmonica. And Colin, even though there were only about 4,400 cadets in the stands, it was everything it was cracked up to be.
We talked the atmosphere and the experience that Army was going to be going into last week, and it did not disappoint, like you mentioned. Being able to see so much of the pregame festivities, having the cadets march into the stadium, and again, only cadets in the stands, about 4,400 as you mentioned, but being able to experience Army is something that this team and everybody involved with it will never forget.
Now, Army had a 7-game winning streak at Michie Stadium, but Georgia Southern jumped out quickly despite only having 1 yard of total offense 4 drives into the game. It was the Eagle defense that forced fumbles on consecutive plays, the first of which set up a short field, well, a really short field, as Georgia Southern began a drive at the West Point 1-yard line. Shy Wirtz a 1-yard touchdown run on the second play for a 7-0 lead, and then the next play of the next drive, another fumble by quarterback Tyre Tyler. Derek Canteen recovered, 22-yard scoop and score for a 14-0 lead.
And it was a special moment because he threw up 2 different twos on his hands. When you look at what that meant, he revealed it on social media that his father actually spent 22 years in the Army, and so a special moment for him and his family.
Now, Army did fight back a long touchdown drive to cut it to 14-7, but leave it to the Eagle offense to find some rhythm. 86-yard touchdown drive as Shy Wirtz on a third down play hooked up with Cam Brown for his first score of the year and a 21-7 lead. Army was on the verge of going in to cut it to 1 score, but they fumbled inside the Eagle 10. Jalen Jackson, the true freshman from Athens, his first career fumble recovery, and at the break it was 21-7 Georgia Southern at Michie Stadium. But I think we felt that Army was going to rally, and they did quickly, tying the game at 21 midway through the second quarter. We mentioned how many block kicks they had this season. They entered the game with 5. They blocked the first of 2 in the second half on an Anthony Beck punt attempt.
And it was a big play that really swung the momentum in the favor of Army. You mentioned going to the locker room, Georgia Southern felt like they had all of the momentum, but Georgia Southern had that taken away as Army with the block kick.
21-21 was the score. Georgia Southern, though, was able to put together another touchdown drive. It was the first career touchdown reception for Logan Wright. Typically, we talk about him grinding out the tough yards and picking up first downs with the ball in his hand. This time, though, a 39-yard touchdown reception down the seam. Unfortunately, though, the PAT was blocked, ending a 124-made PAT stretch that started way back in 2017, and the lead was only 27-21. And then Army put it away with a 10-minute 50-second drive, longest that Georgia Southern has ever faced. It was Jacoby Buchanan's touchdown run and ensuing PAT that resulted in a 28-27 lead. Eagles had multiple opportunities in the final 3 minutes, but they were unable to get the clock stopped for a game-winning field goal try, and ultimately the final score was Army 28, Georgia Southern 27. Eagles 6-3 going back into conference play this weekend. We'll talk Southern Knott State later on in this week's edition, but when we come back, we'll take a look at a special feature on NASA as Blue White Weekly continues.
It's back, the return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first-place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years. In America, we're not about to take this year off. So at the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months, 90 days payment deferment, and $2,000 trade assist cash on select Ford SUVs and Fusion. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. So get the family together, take the scenic route, and make some joy this season. Ford, built for the holidays.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Hi, I'm Paul Newman with Statesboro Real Estate, the broker and owner, also co-owner of PMG Rentals, which is a property management company. As a Georgia Southern graduate in 2005, I got into real estate fresh out of school and was excited to have the opportunity to be the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. I would say what sets me apart is the drone and online marketing presence that Statesboro Real Estate has to offer. Statesboro is such a small town and just has a really cool feel to it, and it's neat to see somebody at the grocery store, at the ball fields, and know that you've helped them in the past and have the opportunity to continue to help them pursue their dream home. PMG Rentals is a great value adder to Statesboro Real Estate for the fact that if you're a renter, we can show you houses to buy in the future, and also if you're an investor, you can purchase with us and then lean to PMG as your property management for the future. Whether you're looking to buy an investment property, have it professionally managed with PMG Rentals, buying your first home, or buying your dream home, make sure you call Paul.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Any clear night you can look up to the sky, see the stars, and know that man has walked on the moon. And you can know deep down that in Statesboro, Georgia Southern University has had a unique connection to the NASA Apollo program. In this week's edition of a Georgia Southern story brought to you by Ford, we listen to the experiences of several alums who have been part of a life-changing event.
Mode control, both autos, engine engine command override off, engine arm off, 13 is in.
I graduated from Georgia Southern in 1969 with a physics and math degree, and my career included the Apollo program, shuttle program, space station, the expendable launch vehicle, and other organizations at Kennedy Space Center.
Well, at the time, of course, it was just a job when we first got down here until we saw how big it was and what all that accomplished. And we thought, wow, this is going to be something big.
I was part of the infrastructure design group here, what they call design engineering. And my responsibility was to look at the infrastructure in terms of television systems and communication systems.
The teachers at Georgia Southern, professors, for me, established a methodology and a set of processes very technical in nature in terms of the schooling and the lectures. But I left with the appreciation of their dedication to the education program that would instill in all of us the ability to use those tools that they gave us.
It gives you a certain sense of fulfillment that we had the opportunity to even participate in this. And so when I look back at today and I see where we are now in space, you know, you realize that you're part of that structure that built that capability that we're now seeing.
Yeah, we're proud of being Eagles. And I think at one time we had a flag flown on one of the shuttles that we presented to Georgia Southern. And so we went out on the football field and presented the flag from the NASA family of us that were there.
We were very fortunate, very lucky, and still owe a lot of it back to the university that gave us the training. You know, most of us have that certain amount of curiosity in our life, and you're able to take that inquisitive nature of yourself and put it into practice.
We copy you down, Eagle. Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Well, you're proud to have been a part of a team that worked so hard for so many years that achieved this unbelievable goal that many people thought was not even possible. And then as you look at the Georgia Southern Eagles and realize that the Eagle has landed, it was a special moment.
After the break, we talk Georgia Southern basketball and more Olympic sports when Blue White Weekly continues.
What's important now, more than ever, is making sure you are connected. Bullock Solutions is Statesboro's partner in high-speed internet, phone, and smart home technology with residential and commercial solutions. We continue to move forward and are here to get you connected.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System, we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
SRENASANT Bank, understanding you.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
What's important now, more than ever, is making sure you are connected. Bullock Solutions is Statesboro's partner in high-speed internet, phone, and smart home technology with residential and commercial solutions. We continue to move forward and are here to get you connected.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford. Go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. The season is over for Georgia Southern volleyball, but last week the team did participate in the 2020 Sun Belt Conference Tournament at Foley, Alabama. We have been talking all year, Colin, about the moment that this team would take the step forward. They ended the regular season taking 2 out of 3 from Troy, and their first matchup in pool play was against the Trojans, and they finally got that victory.
Yeah, it was a 5-set match, and Georgia Southern won the match 3-2, and an historic match for Georgia Southern. Set the school record with blocks. Lauren Hager had 19 to set an individual school record. A heck of a matchup and a heck of a win for Georgia Southern volleyball, and it seems like a statement win for this program. We've talked about how the results may not have been there for this volleyball program, but you've seen the progress that Chad Willis has built in the 2 years here in Statesboro. They ended up falling to UT Arlington the next day on Thursday in pool play. That eliminated them from the bracket portion because of tie-ins, as UT Arlington would go on and win the pool. But for Georgia Southern volleyball, it was a great season. The results, again, may not have been exactly what they were looking for. Maya Wilson was named earlier this week to second team All-Sun Belt, and so you really see the direction this program is going.
Meanwhile, for Georgia Southern basketball, the women got started back on Wednesday, taking a trip to Jacksonville State. They play today at 2 o'clock at Augusta University up at beautiful Christenberry Fieldhouse. And for the Georgia Southern men, they also started this past Wednesday at Hanner Fieldhouse, welcoming in the Florida National Conquistadors from Miami. And we take a look back at those highlights. Georgia Southern men's basketball opened the 2020 season and the Brian Berg era at Hanner Fieldhouse against the Florida National Conquistadors in the first ever meeting between the schools. Eagles started out with a 9-2 lead before the under-16 media timeout. An and one by Caden Archie made for a 12-8 lead, but Georgia Southern was unable to shake free of Florida National, leading only 26-22 at the under-8 timeout. However, the final 7:50 of the first half belonged to Georgia Southern, outscoring Florida National 18-9, resulting in a 45-31 lead at the break. It was just a 64-52 lead right around the 12-minute mark of the second half, but that's when the Eagles put together an 18-0 run that sealed the deal, holding Florida National 8 consecutive misses from the field. 11 different Eagles scored, while 4 finished in double figures, led by 16 from Caden Archie and Eric Boone, 15 points from Kamari Brown, and 13 and 10 from Elijah McCadden, his first career double-double. In the end, it was Georgia Southern taking down the Conquistadors 97-65, win number 1 in the Brian Berg era. So the debut for head coach Brian Berg went quite well. We knew that this team was going to be capable of playing defense, but it's also nice to see so many new faces have an impact.
No doubt, and you've seen the impact that Brian Berg has had off the court, and now you see it really pay fruition on the court for Georgia Southern men's basketball.
And the Eagles today play another game at Hanner Fieldhouse, 4 o'clock tip against Coastal Georgia. We come back from this timeout. It's another edition of Coach's Corner with women's basketball head coach Anita Howard, when Blue White Weekly continues.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
The great thing about joining the Sun Belt for Georgia Southern was, that opportunity for our guys to go experience bowl games. They're able to fight for a conference championship each and every year, and then have the opportunity to go finish the season off with a bowl victory.
Our team recreated each moment in a way that honors the story and retells the story for many generations to come. From the beginning, we've always just wanted to build something that honored Georgia Southern, and they'll stand the test of time.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years. In America, we're not about to take this year off. So at the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months, 90 days payment deferment, and 2,000 trade assist cash on select Ford SUVs and Fusion. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. So get the family together, take the scenic route, and make some joy this season. Ford, built for the holidays.
At Georgia Power, our customers are at the center of everything we do. We're investing in technology to increase the resiliency of our power grid, expanding our infrastructure to shorten outage and repair time, and providing a cleaner, more diverse fuel mix with solar and nuclear energy. We're working hard to keep energy at a cost 15% below the national average, while maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford, go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back into this week's edition of Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. As we step into Coach's Corner here inside historic Hanner Fieldhouse as we visit with the head women's basketball coach, Anita Howard. And Coach, take us through the biggest thing that you've tried to instill into this program since you took over just over a year ago.
The biggest thing is the belief, is the mindset. So taking over a program last year, we talked about the culture under construction. We had 6 phenomenal seniors on that roster last year. And so just getting them to buy into the belief that it is possible.
Like you mentioned, you preached a lot last year about a culture under construction. What's the next step in that?
We still laying the foundation. So I don't know if you ever built a house before. It's a process, Colin. So we're in the drying phase, so we want to see what we need to build next on top of that is to make sure that what we laid down last year stands. And so we want to make sure that we just continue to progress over what the foundation that we laid from last year.
Everybody sees how COVID has affected football and other sports, but with basketball, it's a lot of behind the scenes. Take us through and how COVID has affected this team.
So one of the differences is that we were able to kind of bond with our players a little bit differently because the court was not a part of the equation. It's really the person behind the student, behind the athlete that you was able to bond with. And so the chemistry now that we're seeing on the court, from being able to have the quarantine together, to have to be away from home and miss mom at the same time when the world is kind of shut down, it was a difference for everybody. And so we experienced that whole process together.
You do have a couple of returners to the team, led by Tatum Barber and Jaden Hamilton. What's the next step that they've taken in their maturation process?
All our ladies come from winning programs. None of them have scored less than 1,000 points, and so it's a different kind of competitive greatness that they're seeing on the floor. Tatum Barber, she's Tatum tough. I mean, she really appreciates the help that, my staff and I brought in with this recruiting class. And then the ticket, Jaden Hamilton. She is Jaden Hamilton, and so she's back ready to kind of sell some more tickets for us. And so I like how they've blended with their chemistry off the court, and you can see a big difference on the court with that.
What are you and the staff looking for from this team in 2020?
Outside of a championship? Outside of a championship, as every coach would say, we got to continue to get 1% better each day. But I just want us to compete at a high level. And we don't say compete regular, we spell it COMPHEAT, because we want to compete and bring the heat. And in doing that, we feel like we'll have fun, which we've been doing in practice, and hopefully everything falls in place.
Stepping off the court for a minute, you talk a lot about getting out in the community and making the Statesboro community and Eagle Nation a better place. Why is that so important in what you do for your program?
You always got to give back. One, we have different ladies from different walks of life, and so they haven't seen a lot of stuff. They're a little privileged, and so giving back to the city of Statesboro means a whole lot because, one, they might meet their future employer. It might touch their lives in a different way and help them figure out what they want to do once they do matriculate and graduate. And then it's just really good to give back. If the city of Statesboro know we care, then they'll want to come and support our young ladies.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck this year.
Thanks.
Once again, that's Eagle women's basketball head coach Anita Howard. We'll continue with more Blue White Weekly right after this.
This is it. This is the day we worked for. All the months of preparation, all the hard work. Blue collar, discipline, toughness. That is what has led to this moment. There are people out there that tell you you can't do it. But what do we say to that? G-A-T-A! They will tell you you're not fast enough. They'll tell you you're not strong enough. But what do we say to that? G-A-T-A! They will tell you you can't have it, you don't deserve it. But what do we say to that? G-A-T-A! Get after those assets.
So you'd like to open a checking account today?
As a farmer, half measures never measure up. You put in late nights and early mornings. There will be new challenges. So you adapt, learn, and endure. As a farmer, you put a part of you in everything you do, in what you plant, what you raise, and what you build. Case IH, built by farmers.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years. In America, we're not about to take this year off. So at the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months, 90 days payment deferment, and $2,000 trade assist cash on select Ford SUVs and Fusion. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. So get the family together, take the scenic route, and make some joy this season. Ford, built for the holidays.
Greetings from VYVE Country, your new crazy fast neighbor, now in 16 states.
We're thrilled to be your home and business internet, phone, and TV provider. From cutting-edge technology to excuse-free customer service, we're committed to our local communities. We've been working non-stop upgrading and enhancing our fiber-based network that delivers speeds up to 5 gig internet. We believe in faster speeds, community involvement, and 100% customer satisfaction. Join VYVE Country today at vivebroadband.com.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look into Georgia Southern athletics. Presented by Ford. Go further. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
Welcome back to Blue White Weekly, your weekly look inside Georgia Southern athletics. Eagle football steps back into Sun Belt Conference play this weekend, and in this week's opponent preview brought to you by Georgia Power, it actually comes up in minutes over on ESPN3. It's Southern, not State, from Turner Field in Atlanta. Last time Georgia Southern was there, well, in fact, the only time that Georgia Southern was there was in 2018. A dominant 35-14 win. Last year at Paulson Stadium, it ended the regular season on Thanksgiving weekend, and the Eagles picked up a 38-10 win. Colin, it was nice to see that after 3 consecutive losses to the much-despised Panthers, that the Eagles have retaken control, and the series is now even at 3 apiece.
Yeah, as you mentioned, after Georgia Southern picked up the first victory in the series over Georgia State, then the Panthers coming in with 3 straight victories. That didn't sit well for Eagle Nation or this Georgia Southern football team. And so being able to get back right, even the series up at 3 wins apiece, now having the opportunity to take the lead in the series, and Georgia Southern, if they take the lead, my guess is they're not going to give it up too easily.
Usually we would start with the Panther offense, but this week we begin with the Panther defense because it's kind of off the same tree that Georgia Southern played against a week ago up at Army West Point. The Black Knights coordinator was Nate Woody, former coach at Wofford. The Georgia State defensive coordinator, Nate Fuqua, a former player and an assistant coach and defensive coordinator for the Terriers. It's a 3-4 scheme, and as Coach Lunsford said earlier this week, they've gotten really good at creating havoc behind the line of scrimmage.
And it's a lot of the same names that you've heard from the last couple of years. It's just that maturation process that we talk about time and time again. But this is a lot like we've talked about last week, the 3-4 defense. And as much as you can't necessarily take from the film against Army on offense, you can really take a lot from the defensive side.
Those Panthers had a school record tying 7 sacks against South Alabama last weekend in Mobile in a 31-14 victory. Also had 12 tackles for loss. Defensive lineman Hardrick Willis is the school's all-time sack leader after posting 1.5 against the Jags. And the single-season sacks leader is Jordan Strawn, an outside linebacker. He ranks top 5 in the conference in both sacks and tackles for loss. Meanwhile, for that Panther offense, in the second year under OC Brad Glenn, it's a quarterback-centered scheme. We talked about that each of those seasons with Dan Ellington at the helm. Now he's an assistant coach for the Panthers. But this new quarterback, this guy, Cornelius Quad Brown, 6'5", 200 pounds, he's got some ability.
And everybody talks about how they're a dual-threat quarterback. Quad Brown is the guy that really embodies that dual threat, being able to throw it and run it, being able to do so much with his feet and make plays. He's one of the guys for this Georgia State team that is really good at breaking tackles and making his own plays when it seems like nothing's happening.
Even though Quad Brown threw 3 first-half interceptions against South Alabama, he actually threw for 334 yards total, a new career high in that 17-point win in Mobile. Destin Coates, Tucker Gregg, and Jemias Williams, a former defensive back at South Carolina, create the 3-headed monster at running back, and they have one of the league's best receivers in Sam Pinckney. No love lost between these two. It is Southern, not State, in Atlanta coming up in moments. Switch it over to ESPN3, and of course, tune us in on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Thanks as always to the folks at the Multimedia Development Center. For Colin Lacey, this is Danny Reed. We'll talk to you next time on Blue White Weekly.